Hi guys and welcome to another episode of TTS, a show where we take interesting and normal concepts and try to apply them to the ladder. Today we're going to be exploring the Astral Communion Dream Druid deck. And this deck is going to be, this deck looks very similar to other Astral Communion decks that people have built in the past, but I decided to take a little bit of a twist to it, adding Reno Jackson, more legendaries, and fewer early game cards. I honestly will say that although I have high hopes for this deck, I think that it's not going to be as successful as I initially anticipate. But let's just put it to the test and ladder. Let's see how it performs, and let's see if we can swing one or two wins with it. Now, it goes without saying that if we do not manage to get a win or two with this deck, I'm not going to be that upset. If I'm going to be completely honest, I probably will be a little bit, but still, I will try to keep my cool. I will try to, just make sure that we're doing our best, because that's pretty much the best that you can do. Now, you will see that this deck does have many duplicates, like Ancient of War, Ancient of Lore, Belcher, Nourish, Swipe, and Astral Communion itself, obviously. Which will interact in a negative way with Mr. Reno Jackson, basically preventing us from playing him. If it so happens that we do get many duplicates in a row all the time, and if we don't get the duplicates out of our deck early, so we won't play Reno Jackson, I'm actually thinking of replacing Reno Jackson with Tree of Life, because pretty much it's kind of gets the same goal. It hits the same target, basically. Well, definitely not when you heal your opponent, but if you're behind, you don't really care about your opponent's health. You just want to get back on that horsey. Looks like he's gonna play Mad Scientist. Obviously, Mirror Entity is something that I would rather not encounter, but I assume that it's not gonna be that big of a deal if we get like a 4-drop. I don't care if he copies a 4-drop. I would rather him copy a 4-drop than copy a Ragnaros, for instance. Let's see what we can get. We get absolutely nothing. I mean, next turn I can swipe, and if I play Druid of the Claw, that's alright, I guess. If we don't, however, we can use Innervate to use it on Sylvanas, and then Druid of the Claw perhaps can come in handy. I don't feel like Innervate is the greatest play of all here, because we don't have a follow-up, so let's just not do it. Let's just not Innervate Druid of the Claw here. And I don't want to take a poke at the Mad Scientist just yet. Don't want to do that. Now, this is the kind of situation which I anticipated we would run into a lot, where we would just have such a heavy hand without the ability to actually play anything. And that is a little bit scary, if I'm honest. We get Ysera. So, I mean, getting Sylvanas out on the field is kind of a stretch, but at least we have a decent we have a decent 6 plus a decent 5. Well, we have a decent 4 basically. Now it's turn 4, but we played 6 mana on it. Then we have a decent 5, and we hope to top deck something like a 6-drop by the turn 6 period. Obviously, him having Polymorph is something that I honestly did not expect. I will be 100% honest there. But it's alright. We have Ascension to follow that up with a hero power if we do want it. And I would rather him copy Sen'jin, to be honest, than Ragnaros or Chromagus or Ysera or something. I know I said that multiple times, and I'm just worried. That's all. I'm worried about our situation here, guys. We get Ancient of Lore, which is a very nice card to play on turn 7. So tell you what, let's trade here. We'll give him Sen'jin. While knowing that we're giving him Sen'jin. Because I would rather give him Sen'jin than give him Ancient of Lore. You know what I mean? And I know that if it's... Oh, okay, it's not Mirror Entity, so even better for us, even better. Meaning that it probably is Counterspell, because mages, if they're tempo mages, they generally run 3 different secrets. It's either going to be Mirror Entity, it's going to be Effigy, or it's going to be Counterspell. if it counterspells my Astral Communion, by this moment in time, it doesn't really matter all that much. Ancient of Lore is still an okay play. It's still an okay play, even though I can't swipe it. If it gets counterspell, I have no play. So let's just draw cards here, see what we can get. Scenarios and Deathwing. Well, Deathwing's Battlecry kind of approaches it the same way as Astral Communion does by discarding your hand, but it also destroys other minions, which is good for me. Nourish. Well, I mean, double swipe is alright. However, if it is counterspell, that is going to be a little bit sad. It will mean that I have to trade the 5/5 into the 7/7 and then swipe again. But at least his board is going to be gone, right? Let's just hope it's not counterspell. It is counterspell, and that's alright. That's alright. We still have a second swipe. We are at 12 HP though. However, he did already burn his Fireball and a Frostbolt, so that's okay. And if he does not push for lethal damage here, I can just scenarios it up, right, and stay alive that way. Fireball. That's lethal. All right. Well, I guess that's gonna be it. That double swipe play would have been probably enough to keep me alive. Never lucky, I guess. You know, sometimes you're gonna lose, sometimes you're gonna win. It's just a matter of trial and error, I guess. How many games you play, it will depend how much you win. And sometimes you can play 3 games with the deck, you can lose all 3 games, and then you can win like 10 in a row, which will put your win rates like much higher than you initially would have anticipated. Now we are starting second. I can tell that because we have 4 cards on the deck tracker highlighted. And we have Astral Communion. So, I will definitely keep Astral Communion. I'll send Scenarios, Ragnar, Sabrina back in the deck so that we don't discard them, basically. Yeah, it kind of sucks to discard Dr. Boom, but it's gonna be turn 1 Astral Communion, guys. The dream. The turn 1 Astral Communion. I never did this in my life. Let's see how it turns out for us. Let's see how it turns out, guys. Nourish. Alright, fine. I'll do the Astral Communion play. Yeah, goodbye Dr. Boom, goodbye Nourish. Let's hope we top deck a big minion. Like Ysera would be nice, Ragnaros would be nice. A lot of things would be nice. Hell, even Justicar would be cool, because I can get rid of his Northshire Cleric that way. But again, we can top deck something like Innervate and just do nothing. And that would be sad. Ancient of War. Well, I tell you this much, I'm not gonna go the uproot mode. I'm gonna go rooted, even though it might still get deathed. I would rather potentially have a 5/10 taunt on the board than you know, a 10/10 die to a BGH, you know. Even though priests don't generally run BGH, at this rank you can pretty much expect anything, despite the fact that it's just very early in the season and people are still kind of climbing their way back up to Legend. What do we get? We get Astral Communion again. Well, I guess we get another draw, right, from this? Because we get the X mana? That is correct, sir. And we get Chromagus. You know what? I will not play around death. I will not play around death, because if he had a death, he would have deathed last turn, and even if he Velen's chosen it, you know, he still can't do much. He still can't, like, heal it up and stuff.
How many fingers do you see?
Alright, I think it's Chromagus time. I think Chromagus has to come in play. I will trade with the Holy Champion though, because Holy Champion can get annoying after a while. So this, since he does not have a death, this is working out quite well for us actually. Like, even Light Bomb does not do much, even if he can play it next turn, you know? So, there we go. Pretty nice start. I mean, we could have obviously had a better one, but I can't complain too much. It's still good.
Do you like to play with fire?
Alright, Wild Pyro. Flash Heal. Alright, he wants to get those deaths, basically. Double swipe. Should we just double swipe his face? I feel like, why not? Why not? We're not playing a minion, but we're removing his board and pushing so much goddamn damage that, like, even Light Bomb will not do stuff. We're setting up lethal, basically, this turn. Turn 6 lethal with Astral Commune. This I never had this happen before. But there we go. There's always a first time. I guess I just lost my Astral Communion virginity. If there is such a term. Yeah, that ain't gonna save you, buddy. And I get double Sylvanas. I definitely have bested you there. Obviously, I have to blame the RNG for giving me the Innervate and the coin and the Astral Communion in the opening hand. But when it does happen, as you can see, even though he did have a chance to have like a comeback mechanic via having a death against the Ancient of War, I think it's still pretty good. Like how I like how it turned out, to be honest. Alright, well, Warrior is, again, a matchup where I can mulligan really hard for those Astral Communions. However, keeping Blood Mage is actually, in my opinion, pretty nice. Because I would rather have it in my opening hand, I would rather discard it than, like, Ragnaros and Chromagus, which, if we get Astral Communion, we'll have to discard. Unless, of course, we are at, like, turn 7 and we get Astral Communion. Yeah, now that we have Reno Jackson, I definitely don't want to play Astral Communion. Because I want those cards. I want them played. You know. So, in this situation, where we are not going to be playing... where we're not going to be playing Astral Communion, we should really save Blood Mage Thalnos for that extra 5-2 swipe. That will be of benefit. Warriors tend to be quite passive at the early game, unless they are like aggressive warriors or something like that. But we're not going to be playing much in terms of minions in the early game, not giving him any value for the weapons, not giving him any value for the 1-3. Is this Shredder? Death's Bite to the face.
Blood and plunder.
And Dread Corsair. Interesting. Well, I can't deal with the Dread Corsair, unfortunately. And I can't play anything apart from Blood Mage, which I'd rather save, to be honest. Don't really want to take a poke at the Blood Cell just yet. But if he's gonna play like a Patron on turn 5, I will have a very hard time dealing with them, unless I get a swipe again. He's really going for it right there, and I don't blame him, obviously. If he figured out the fact that, not Rampage, is it? If he figured out the fact that I'm playing a very slow deck, then that's a good thing that he's doing. Obviously, that's a lot of things that he's putting on the board already. But I do have plenty of taunts, I gotta say. Like, if he executes my 4-6 on turn 7, he's gonna be very disappointed that he did that, because he would have to deal extra 10 damage that he could have dealt to my face, and that will just give me more time to activate Reno Jackson. By the looks of it, he's playing like a face deck. Alright, I need to swipe like really badly now. Oh god. Am I gonna just die right here? Simply because I can't play anything? Quite possibly. So I have to play Blood Mage, basically. We are not necessarily dead. We're not necessarily dead, but we probably are dead. There's a very high chance of us just being dead, like right here. He can't play Gorehow, so that's one thing that I like. That'll put me down to 2, and that'll put me down to -4. No, -2. Very interesting. Very interesting game. Very interactive, very fun. I guess I'll blame it on the fact that I literally had no play up until turn 5 anyway. And even if I did play Blood Mage, which would have sped up my draws by 1, it wouldn't have saved me. So basically, Reno Jackson did not activate at all. Even if we would have drawn like Nourish and Swipe, by turn 6, if you want to play Reno Jackson, you cannot do that. And that's okay. That's okay. The good thing that I gotta say about that game though is it was quick. It was quick, you know, and that's a good thing. When a game is quick, you just lose and you move on, and that's that. Don't want to keep Senjin, to be honest, because it just gets pained. I'd rather mulligan Heart for something like Astral Communion, and we get legendaries. Well, I guess I'll learn next time to keep Senjin. Priests, another class like Warrior, in general, they're not going to be as aggressive as you would imagine other classes being. Not pointing any fingers at Paladins and Warriors, and Hunters and stuff like that. Am I going to take a poke at it? Probably not a good idea, because if he coined that out, he might have another play, but if he wants to just save it, that's fine too. So he has an aggressive start. That I don't like, because we have no start. We literally have no play up until turn 6. And this could potentially be very scarring, you know? And it's not like we can Astral Communion into top deck Deathwing, you know? But so far he had a 1-drop, 2-drop, and a 3-drop. Which is, you know, on a scale of 1 to scary, is pretty scary. And I still can't play anything. That's just sad, and it's very likely that I will not be able to play anything. This is sort of the problem with the deck, you know. This is the sort of thing that you will run into while trying out Astral Communion. I'll be honest with you guys, this is not the first time I'm trying the Astral Communion deck, but in the past it was mainly just, you know, I was bored and I wanted to play something fun, and basically what I did, I just created a deck with 2 Astral Communion, and the rest were just legendaries. And honestly, that deck worked pretty well, I'm not gonna lie. But it doesn't change the fact that even though we have this deck, which is supposed to have worked better, it still doesn't really work out. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He has lethal on the board, so unless I use Swipe and Hero Power, I'm dead. So let's do that. I mean, we have no choice. And if I had been poking that 2-4, he would have been healing it probably every turn, and that would have been scary. We're probably dead next turn, believe it or not. We can't top deck like Astral Communion, Innervate, Wild Growth, and Nourish, and Belcher in one turn to activate Reno Jackson. That is just sadness. Holy Nova. Alright. And Ragnar's. Yeah, we're pretty dead. Unless he does not have a death, which he does not. He does not have a death. Then maybe we can do something. Like, I'm not gonna give up. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. You're not getting past my Ancient of War. Well, if he has a death, I'm definitely dead. But if he doesn't, I got a chance. I'm obviously not even counting the chance of me activating Reno Jackson in this case. Okay. And is that it? Alright. Well, we get Senjin. Senjin is a good card. I could potentially use Ancient of Lore to heal myself up. or I could use Sen'jin to protect myself along with a hero power. Another option is to play Ragnaros, another option is to play Justicar. The option to play Justicar does not really fly with me right now. We're gonna trade the 5-8 into the 2-4, meaning it'll be a 2-6, 5-6, sorry, and giving him a nice even trade with the Chilmo guy. So we either heal with Ancient of Lore and pass, or we play Shield Master and armor up. If he has a Pain, Shadow Word Pain, then Sen'jin is a bad play. But he did not have a death last turn, so I feel like we'll go with the lore play. And something like in this case, something like a Velen's Chosen does not kill me, you know, because if he has like a Velen's Chosen, he can trade with a 5-6 with a 3-5 that he is currently on the board. That would give him 6 damage to my face potentially, and that would be lethal situation with Holy Nova, which is not gonna happen, luckily. But it still means that I have to sacrifice my 5-5 into the 6-1, which, you know, is slightly unfortunate. He plays nothing. And we get Innervate. We can't activate Reno Jackson just yet, but tell you what, we'll sacrifice this. We have 11 mana, basically. If I play Sen'jin, he just pains it. I mean, I could Justicar for... How much damage is that? That's not enough to kill the 3-5. I think I will Cenarius. I think Cenarius is better. Still. I think it's better. What do we need? We need Nourish, Belcher, Wild Growth to activate Reno. And we're dead to Holy Fire. Just saying. And we're dead to Holy Nova as well, by the way, in this case. So probably should have been a better idea to innovate Hero Power. But I was thinking we save Innervate. Power Shield. He probably should have done that first to get Holy Nova. And we get Wild Growth, which we could use for redraw. And it's not that bad of an idea, to be honest. No, it's actually a pretty bad idea. Scratch that. Do I really want to take 3 damage? Well, I technically wouldn't be taking any damage, but I would clear the board, right? No, I wouldn't. I still wouldn't clear the board. So that's something that I don't want to do. So I'll trade. Play Justicar Hero Power, that's 8, Innervate Sen'jin. That seems like a good play to me. That seems like a pretty decent play to me. So trade that. I'm sorry I'm taking so much time on turns, guys. I just want to make sure that I'm not doing anything bad. You know what I mean? Like, being at 7 HP is actually pretty nice, you know? Like, it's not too bad. And it gives me time to activate that Reno, which could have been Tree of Life, by the way, which would have been much better, as I said at the beginning of this video. But I'm pretty shocked that we actually survived this long. Like, I'm still gonna be okay if we die, but it is pretty funny, you gotta admit. Light bomb. Okay. Well, his 3-1 will die definitely due to this engine if he trades, despite him healing it. So I like that.
Are you mocking me?
We have no more taunts though.
Quickly.
In our hand at least. Alright. Nourish. We could nourish to get a taunt, but I would rather not. I would rather just Ragnaros and hero power. You know?
What to do?
I'm hoping that it hits a minion. Fucking A. Really? Really, Ragnaros? That is not what I crafted you for. I'm kidding, I didn't actually craft Ragnaros, but Blaze out Entomb, Death, that's fine.
I wield the power of black.
Okay. So that guy is coming back, apparently. We get Innervate number 2. I mean, if we Nourish and get Astral Communion and Belcher, then we can activate Reno Jackson. If not, I can play Deathwing, and we lose Reno Jackson forever. Do I want to lose Reno Jackson forever? I mean, it's one of the two, right? Like, okay, Nourish, play, I don't survive 100%. It's very low chance that I survive, but it is possible. It is possible. With Deathwing, I survive, but I discard Reno. And he might have a death. Deathwing is probably a safer bet. He already used the Holy Nova, right? So, he will not be able to Holy Nova kill me. It will only be, he can only do kill me with Okanai Priest, right? And improved hero power, which he doesn't have. So,
Glory to the Sindori.
alright. Now, I like, all I need to do now is I need to not top deck Loot Hoarders. Because if I top deck Loot Hoarders, that is going to be GG for us. Chow. Okay. 12. Well, I can get healing, so that's good.
Quickly.
Velen's chosen. Alright. Ancient of Lore! I'm not gonna use it to draw though. Wait, how much HP will I have? I have 9 plus 2. That's 11. 11 against a board of 7 damage is not too bad. So let's draw cards, man. Actually, you know what? How many cards are we? 14, 13. Now I actually have no idea what he's running in his deck. That is the scary part for me. And plus, we don't have any more healing, apart from the second Ancient of Lore. So, I think we heal. I think we actually heal, guys.
What to do?
I'm sorry to tell you this, but I think we're healing. Rather than drawing. I want to trade with that so that he doesn't have a good shot at my 5-5. Well, he still does, but then he has no board. And he wants to kill the 12-12. Because he doesn't want to die either.
For Blackwing!
Ouch. That's bad. Now I have to trade with that. Huh. 17, 18, 19. I have 19, so swipe to top deck kills him. No swipe. Alright, well that's actually not too bad. We're trading for this, for sure. We're killing that for the HP. We're taunting this little bad boy up. And going face! Oh my god, is it comeback o'clock or what? Obviously something like a mind control would be devastating, but let's just not put our panties in a bunch here, and let's not be too worried. So basically that discard play with Deathwing was better than Reno Jackson play, because we would not have top decked Astral Communion and Sludge Belcher as we just saw. And two, ouch, that sucks a lot. That really does. What do we get? We get Astral Communion. Beautiful. At the bottom of our deck. Let's redraw. Aviana that we can't play. Am I going to ignore that or kill that? I guess I should kill that because I am the one running low on HP. But then again, it's only 1 damage. But then again, he might run something like Valence Chosen. Yeah, like, he fucking runs Valence Chosen, doesn't he? And it's just annoying. Just annoying. He already had 1, must mean he has 2. And if he entombs Aviana, that's bad. But if I get like Ysera, I get to play them both in the same turn. I don't really get the value though. Wild Growth, don't like it. Would I rather play Wild Growth or Aviana? I think Aviana is fine. Let's just hope he doesn't kill it, or mind control it, or entomb it. Because if we Wild Growth, let's say, and get Astral Communion, we're screwed. We're forced to Hero Power do nothing when we need to deal with a 2/6. Master Spell. Draw a card, okay. He gets a dragon. That must be a big dragon then. Swipe. Alright, let's see what I can draw off the Wild Growth. If I get Blood Mage Talnos. Sludge. Is Sludge good? Sludge is alright.
These talents will be your end.
What is that card? That's a dragon. That's a big dragon. So probably like Ysera or something like that. So I should go to the face. I should go to the face a little bit. Because otherwise I'm just not going to kill him. I'm just not going to kill him. Because that card is either Ysera or Chromagus or something like that. Please don't be second in tomb.
The spirits be restless.
Vol'jin. Alright, well now I really need that Blood Mage. Nourish is not what I need. It's definitely not what I need. But we gotta use it anyway. Draw 3 cards. Flute, Ysera, Sludge. I guess Sludge number 2 is fine. Ah, this sucks. It really does. Tell you what. I'm gonna go a bit reckless. I'm gonna do damage to his face here. Cause it's just silly, isn't it? It's just silly. Otherwise we'll be here forever and we'll die. Because we're gonna draw to fatigue.
I dream and the world.
Well, there's Ysera. No, he was holding. Blood Mage, come on. Come on, Blood Mage. Come on, Blood Mage. Come on. Yes! There you go. There's Blood Mage. How much damage is that? That's exactly lethal! Oh my god. GG. So going face there was the correct decision. Good thinking, Rushin. Good thinking. That was a fairly interesting game, I have to admit. Yeah, it did quite last for quite some time. I hope that you enjoyed the first episode of me playing with the Astral Communion Druid deck. Please click the link somewhere on the left-hand side. It will take you directly to part 2. We'll continue our adventures with the Astral Communion Druid deck. You guys are awesome. Stay awesome. You take care now. I'll see you very, very soon.